Thinking of moving overseas, wondering what to do with your bank accounts, Medicare, or your old rental in Sydney? You're not alone. Every week I speak with Australians planning the big move, and nearly every one of them asks the same 5 questions. And at first glance, they sound like small admin tasks. But the truth is that getting one of them wrong means that you could stay tied to the Australian tax system for years. So let's walk through them together so that you can move forward with clarity and compliance. Meet Michael and Emma, a young couple from Brisbane. Michael's a crypto investor. Emma has a successful online digital marketing business. They've chosen Bali for lifestyle, freedom, and yes, to lower their taxes. They booked a session with our team because they had heard a few things online but wanted to make sure that they were doing the right thing. Here's what they asked and what you need to know too. Question 1, can I keep my Australian bank accounts? They said, we'll just leave our Aussie bank accounts open because it's easier for transfers and deposits later. The reality, you can keep them, but if you don't notify the bank your new non-resident status, you could send the wrong signal to the ATO. Your financial institutions report to the ATO. So if your bank records say that you're still a resident, the ATO may assume you are too. So what to do? Notify your bank of your overseas residency, update your mailing address, and minimize regular use of the account. This small step can prevent years of tax trouble. Question 2, am I still covered by Medicare overseas? What they said, I've got Medicare, I'm still Australian, that should cover me, right? The reality, if you're a non-resident for tax purposes, you're not entitled to use Medicare. And if you do, that's considered fraud. And yes, even bulk billed visits can trigger repayments or even worse, anchor you back into the system as a tax resident. What to do? Pay cash for visits to the doctors or specialists. Take out overseas health cover. Understand that holding an Aussie passport does not equal Medicare eligibility for those who are now non-residents. Question 3, do I still pay tax on my rental property? What they said, we're renting out our old apartment. Since we live overseas now, we don't need to pay tax, right? Wrong. If you're earning rental income from Australian property, it's still taxed in Australia, even if you're a non-resident, and the non-resident tax rate is higher. There's no tax-free threshold and you lose your 50% capital gain tax discount. What to do? Declare all rental income. Review whether holding the property still makes financial sense. Ideally, you want to do this before you make the move overseas. This way, you're in a better position to structure your affairs in a way that minimizes your exit tax legally. Question 4, can I still have my self-managed super fund? What they said, can we still keep our self-managed super fund and continue to invest through it? The reality, once you become a non-resident for tax purposes, your self-managed super fund becomes non-compliant. What to do? Roll it over into a complying standard industry fund, build a broader offshore wealth plan, and understand that you can't access super until preservation age, regardless of where you live. Question 5, how do I prove I'm no longer a resident for tax purposes? What they said, isn't moving overseas enough? The reality, no. The ATO doesn't care where you physically are. They care where your life is. Tax residency is based on your center of life, not your passport. What to do? Sever ties with Australia. Cancel driver's license, remove yourself from voting rolls and Medicare. Establish a domicile and permanent home overseas. Follow the legal checklist from ATO rulings and court cases. And most importantly, get a tax residency compliance letter. This is your formal evidence that you've exited the Australian tax system the right way. And if the ATO ever audits you, it's your strongest defense. Michael and Emma, they were heading straight for 3 out of 5 traps. But with proper advice, they avoided thousands, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in penalties. And now they've settled in Bali with full legal clarity, confident their move was compliant. So if you're planning a move or already overseas but haven't taken these steps, don't wait for the ATO to come knocking. Book your free tax residency assessment with WellSafe. We are the only firm in Australia offering a tax residency letter you can use as evidence you've done everything in your power to exit the Australian tax system. Visit wealthsafe.com.au today, because real freedom comes not just from moving overseas, but from knowing that you've done it the right way.